are live. Hello, everybody. Say hey when you're hopping on. Let me know you're here. How are you? How's life? What's up? Say hey when you're hopping on. Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to come live to talk to you guys today because there is a lot of freaking energy. There we go. There's a lot of energy. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one feeling this energy because I've been talking to a lot of you, and a lot of you have been like, yeah, I'm feeling this energy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. I don't know where it's coming from. So I'm going to talk about it. I want to talk with you guys about how to let go of the old you that's currently dying because we're all going through a deep humanity is going through an identity shift. That's kind of just like what I've decided for humanity. I've just decided that for us that we're all going through an identity shift right now. And let me know in the comments if you're here and you're live and if you're on the replay, let me know in the comments what old self is being called up right now. What are the old patterns, the old behaviors, the old survival modes, the old mechanisms you've had to use in order to get through life. What is coming up for you right now that you're just like, oh my God, I am so freaking done with this. I am so freaking done struggling with this pattern. I'm so done struggling with this relationship. I'm so done struggling with money. What is it? What's the thing that's coming up for you? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments and let me know. Let me know. Because the thing is I want you guys to know that even though we're all so spread out in the world and we thank God we have the internet to connect with each other, but I know that it can feel extremely isolating. It can feel extremely lonely. It can feel like, what am I even supposed to be doing at this time? Why is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing not working? You may be asking yourself these questions, or you might be like on an edge. You might be in an in between on an edge. You know that there's a shift waiting for you. You've planned for this shift. You see the new you, but the shift is going slow because there's a resistance between the old you and the new you. And oftentimes, when we're up leveling, as us woo woo spiritual people like to say, we all like to be like, I'm up leveling. Okay, I think I should just be real with you guys. In the past 5 years, after 2021, it's coming up on 5 years now because I can't believe 2026 is right around the corner. What? I have experienced lows and levels of darkness that I didn't even know my soul was capable of experiencing because I was so delusional and so in a fantasy and so in an illusion, thinking like, oh, like I'm light worker live, like I'm a light worker. I'm special, right? Like spiritual ego was strong in this one. And I say that with love for myself because I have compassion and I do understand that life is life. I gotta hold on. I have to plug my microphone in because people on Facebook might be having a hard time hearing me. Okay, this is probably gonna be better. This is gonna be better. And because my spiritual ego was doing the spiritual ego thing and thinking like I'm essentially like I'm light worker live, like, and I say this so lightly because it was not a conscious thought. I was not walking around thinking like, oh, I'm light worker live, I'm better than everybody else. It's like, oh, I'm light worker live, I hold this title, I have to meet this standard, I have to be perfect in order to be of service. Okay, so that whole identity got demolished in the past 5 years. And I essentially went through an identity crisis. Say hey when you're hopping on, let me know you're here. Have you ever been through an identity crisis? And you can tell the difference between an identity shift and an identity crisis because it's a crisis because you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was this one thing and now I'm not this one thing. Who am I? It's like, for instance, if a mother loses their child and they don't know who they are without their child, right? And that's an extreme level of loss. But my identity was very wrapped up in who I was as a wife to my kid's dad. And my business identity was wrapped into that as well because I was seeking validation. And so these past 5 years have just been a demolition of that old self. And this is what we're going through together as a collective. Like how humanity identifies with each other, with life, with the system, it's currently being demolished. We are moving away from this survival mode, and we have to do it like we have to move away from survival mode in ourself first. And so that requires us to really face our fears, our deepest, darkest fears. And oftentimes, those deepest, darkest fears are really about our own feelings of enoughness. There's this whole concept of worth that has been created based on your upbringing, based on your relationship with society, based on your personality and your astrology and what defines you. And if you aren't defined by something outside of yourself, then you can feel in crisis when there is a part of you that has to be let go of. And there are opportunities for us to really look deeply into our soul at this time and ask, okay, what can I do to shift these patterns? And we all have the patterns. Like, you know what I'm talking about when I say patterns, right? It's the cycle that you continue to put yourself through. Like, you'll even get out of it. You'll get out of the cycle, you know? But then you'll always find your way back in there. And you can put in the comments what that thing is for you, or you can just like, send me a DM and tell me what it is. Whatever. I would love to know. We would love to know. So like a good example of like a cycle is like you always date men that leave you or something like that. And you're really trying to break free from that pattern of being with emotionally unavailable men who just leave you, right? And that requires you to face the part of yourself that says, that's who I am. I'm somebody who gets left. And that is the scary part. I was thinking the other day, because like, I'm not perfect. Obviously, I'm human and I break cycles and then I find myself right back in them. And then I have to do the work all over again to get myself out. And I was thinking the other day, like, radical responsibility is the way to radical freedom. Let me say that again. Radical responsibility is the way to radical freedom. And what I mean by radical freedom is like you're so free that you can literally choose whoever, wherever, whenever, and it's all in alignment with your highest good. It's all in alignment with your higher power. It's all in alignment with your deepest, truest, pure heart desires. That to me is radical freedom. But the way to get to radical responsibility is like, okay, I'm taking responsibility for every single thing that happens in my life, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much it annoys me or challenges me. I am the one who is creating this. To get there in yourself, you have to be radically honest with yourself. And that's where people get stuck in identity crises and in identity shifts. It is a human mechanism to protect yourself and your psyche and your ego, to live in to live in denial, to live in illusion, to live in fantasy, to live in a lie, essentially. And like the majority of humanity, in my opinion, is living a lie. And I often actually have a really hard time, especially since I've come back from my own identity crisis in the past 4 years, quitting my business 4 times, telling people I'm done forever because my whole entire sense of self was demolished, and I didn't think I could show up and use this beautiful gift and this beautiful skill I have of coaching and light working and healing. I didn't think I could be that anymore because I was in such a dark place. And what I learned is like I have to be real. I have to be real with myself about who I really am and what I'm really dealing with. and the circumstances that I create based on who I believe I am and based on the identity that I inherited. We've all inherited identities from our mothers, from our fathers, through our genes, through our codons. We've inherited personality traits, behaviors. We've learned things that we've picked up that have become a part of who we are, how we show up. And in order to dismantle all of that, to really let go of the old you, you have to be radically honest with yourself. I'm talking about having the most uncomfortable conversations about your behavior patterns, your cycles, where you are playing a part in your own suffering. And this is work, I'm talking about this so passionately because it's work I'm currently doing on myself. It's work that I'll never stop doing on myself. But in order to really let go of that old you with grace and ease, and I'm not saying it's comfortable, it's not comfortable work. You're not going to be comfortable in this transformation, but it will be easy and you will do it gracefully when you are willing to be so honest about the role you are playing in your own pain and suffering. I was having a conversation with my brother, who is my go to like financial guru life coach. And we were talking, and he was like, you just keep making yourself suffer. And I just had to sit with that for a second because I know he's right. And even though it hurt to accept that I am playing a part in my own suffering, I had to accept it. I had to, you know? There's a lot of financial fear right now. There's a lot of people who are like, I don't know what I'm going to do. These tariffs are crazy in the United States. Even if you don't live in the United States, you might be having financial pressures or fears. And it doesn't matter how much money you make or don't make. And I do 1000% believe that in order to get where you want to be, you have to have a positive mindset and you have to believe that there is more available for you in a way that suits your life. And you have to be radically honest about the reality of the situation. And so, like, the reality of the situation is that people feel scared about where the world is going right now. And if maybe you don't feel that, but we're all connected. And especially if you're an empath, a light worker, a healer, a highly sensitive person, you feel that energy. But it is our job to spread the light outward. So, in order to spread the light outward, we have to cultivate that light from within. And I am not on all the time. That was something I was going through, and I was like in a container with a coach that I follow, and I actually like left that container because I got triggered and I just was like over it. I was like, actually, I don't want to be in here. This is not serving me. I'm leaving. So I left, and it felt better. But in that container, she was like, I can't even remember where I was going with that. She was saying something along the lines of what I'm saying right now, and I guess wow, my brain just like took all of that of whatever point I was gonna make with that story. My brain just completely took it away from me. So I guess I'm not gonna say it right now. Guess I'm not gonna say it right now. But the point is, in order to let go, you have to be radically honest with yourself about what you're afraid of. And you have to be radically honest with yourself about what needs to change. And it probably isn't the thing that you think needs to change. It's probably the deeper matter of the situation in your psyche. And that's where you can get help. Like, I'm here to help you. There's millions of other people on the internet that can help you probably. Um but like getting that reflection back for like, okay, how do I do this? Where do I show up, you know? And using your nervous system tools right now to soothe yourself. Lots of soothing energy, calling in tons of soothing energy at this time for all of us, you know? There's just, life isn't fair, things are hard, and you still have the ability to show up and do the things you came here to do. I'm just not in I am not in a place of like, I'm so tired of hearing people. in the life coaching industry talking about being delusional. No, I don't promote delusions. I was talking to a friend about my business and I was like, look, I am all about positivity and manifestation. And I am 100% that girl who believes if you think it, then it can become a reality. But I do not think that being delusional is a sustainable business plan. It's not a sustainable business plan. Being delusional is not a sustainable business plan. It might be a part of your plan or whatever your plan is, you know? But like you have to play an active role in co-creating your reality. Do you feel me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you have to understand whatever it is you're trying to manifest to the point that you know, okay, I have to do this and this and this and this and this. And then you have to do it with a positive attitude. You have to back yourself with unshakable faith. But like I don't like the word delusion. I'm not for it. I don't like the word delusion. I don't promote being delulu. I don't think being delulu is the salulu. Mm-mm, I do not. I believe having a positive mindset is absolutely key if you're going to do anything in your life at all. But you have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. You have to show up. You have to show up in the way that life is calling you to show up, you know? And a lot of us have like some deep responsibilities that we really have to take care of that we can't ignore. And, you know, I have been being really radically honest with myself about my addictive behaviors and patterns that I have to let go of in order to become the person that I'm here to be. And in order to show up and to do that with ease and grace is for me to stay radically honest with who I am and what I've inherited from my parents and what is still alive and active in me right now. And I have to take radical responsibility for it because at the end of the day, the only person who can change me, no matter how much support I get, no matter how many times I pull cards, no matter how much energy work I do, the only person who can truly choose to change my behavior, to change my patterns is myself. And that comes from our solar plexus. That is our personal power. And so if you want to let go of an old you with grace and ease, you have to tap into your solar plexus power and you have to tap in to your ability to choose. And that requires you to let go of the victim. And I'm not saying that you weren't the victim in times in your life. Shit, there was so many times in my life where I was the victim of some bullshit, you know? But now I am playing an active role in who I want to be on this planet. I'm playing an active role in who I want to be on this planet. And so I have to take radical responsibility for who I want to be and who I say I am. And that is scary. It's scary for me to be like, okay, yeah, guys, I'm going to go get this doctorate in clinical psychology and become a doctor of clinical psychology. That's a whole identity shift in and of itself. Or if you're starting a business, okay, I'm going to step out in the world and start this business. That's a whole identity shift. Okay, I'm going to stop a pattern that I've lived my whole life. And oftentimes, those patterns that you've lived your whole entire life are patterns that you have had to have in order to survive. You feel me? Let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if this is landing. Let me know if you're resonating with it. Let me know if this is helpful to you. Um, I do want to say before I pull cards that like this past week was so thick. It was thick. I just keep telling everybody we're in a pressure cooker. We're in a pressure cooker. The pressure is heating up. You are being asked to look at yourself in ways that maybe you've wanted to ignore, deny, be delusional about, live in a fantasy about, and you can't ignore it. And if you are ignoring it, it's just making it more uncomfortable. But it's like also at the same time, like, we're good. There's so many miracles around us right now. Like, the miracle of this time is that there can be so much pressure and so much unknown, but you're still waking up every single day alive on this planet, able to enjoy yourself in more moments than not, right? Hi, Tamaris. How you doing, babe? And you're still here. You are still here. You are still functioning. You are still a functioning human being on this planet. And it's okay if you're being asked to do things in a different way. It's okay if you're being asked to show up in a different way. It's okay if you are in a cycle that you have wanted to get out of and you got out of it and now you're back in it and you're like, I can't stay here. Okay, you can't stay there. What are you going to do to make sure that you never come back to this place? That is the radical responsibility. I'm going to take radical responsibility for this. I'm going to show up. I'm going to say, I'm creating this with my choices, with my thoughts, with my feelings, with my words. I am creating this. I'm creating this. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. And being your own problem also means you are your own solution. Oh, God. Sometimes don't you wish, like, when you're listening to someone super inspiring, or if you're somebody who gives inspiration, this has been a lesson for me. Like, I have to listen to myself. I think I said this on a live like a few months ago too. Like, I have to listen to myself. Like, the level of belief you have in other people to go after their dreams, does it match your belief in yourself to do what it takes to go after your dreams? One of my best friends of like 20 years at this point, and no, we're not that old. I mean, dang, 14 years. Okay, so we're at 14 years. One of my best friends of 14 years, she was just texting me. She's about to have a baby, and she's about to have her third baby, and she was just like, I admire how much you believe in yourself. Like, I wish I could believe in myself. She's like, I need to apply the way you believe in yourself. I need to believe in myself. And my response to her was like, no, I'm just actually psychotic. That was my response to her. Because when she was texting me this, I was in a very introspective place. I was in deep reflection with myself because there are things that I do really, really well. And I do believe in myself. There is no way I would have ever moved to San Francisco, California to attend a graduate school program by myself with my two kids if I did not somehow believe that I could handle whatever responsibility came with that. And I do. I believe in myself because I know I can. And if I can, then I will, right? But I'm not perfect. I'm absolutely not perfect. And so in this moment when she was texting me and she's like, it was a reminder for me that I do believe in myself, that I do go after my dreams, that I don't hesitate when I know that it is my soul's calling and this is the thing I'm supposed to be doing. I cannot and will not hesitate. I cannot and will not hesitate. And it won't make sense to people. There are so many choices that I've made. For instance, me going hitchhiking when I was 21 to this part of California, actually, meeting the guy that got me pregnant with my daughter, getting pregnant with my daughter did not make sense for my life at all. I was a 21-year-old struggling college student, having a deep spiritual awakening, um, drinking and doing all types of drugs. Like, it did not make sense for me to even want a baby. But I was like, I have to get pregnant. And I knew I had to get pregnant because I knew that if I had a kid, I would not mess that up. I would show up for life. And that's always been my why. My kids are always my why, you know, for me, because that's what works for me. But like, that choice did not make sense. And sometimes your choices are not going to make sense to the people around you. But if you know in your soul that it's supposed to happen, then you have to do it. Iris is Iris is my daughter and she's going to be 12 at the end of the year, and her biological father's no longer with us. He passed away. She never even really knew him. He was literally like a homeless deadhead that I met on the streets. But when I met him, I was like, "Oh, I have to have a baby with you." And I knew that. I was like 21 and he was 37, and we didn't even have a baby in that first month. I met him in Florida. I made my friend drive me to Florida. I got pregnant on Easter. I got pregnant as soon as I got down there. I woke up the next day and I was like, time to go home. My job is done. Started hitchhiking back home, had Iris on December 24th, 2013. The rest is history. And if you guys have ever met Iris, she is literally such an amazing human. Like, actually, Iris is probably really close to perfection. I'm not gonna lie. She's a Capricorn with her moon in Virgo and her ascendant in Gemini. Like, and she has a Capricorn stellium in the eighth house. She's got Saturn in Scorpio. Like, she just shows up for her life. She knows, like, everybody has stuff to work on, but Iris really, like, that wasn't a mistake. That choice didn't make sense. My point in this story that I'm telling you right now is, like, me as a 21-year-old thinking, I was hitchhiking, you guys, and I met a guy that literally didn't have a home, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to have your kid. Like, that didn't make sense. But, like, the only reason I am sitting in front of you today is because I made that choice. It didn't make sense for me to come to California and hitchhike for 6 months. Like, and I'm not saying take these risky behaviors, but this also goes back to what my best friend was saying to me. She was like, you just believe in yourself. But it's not that I just believe in myself, you guys. It's that I have a deep connection to Source. So when Source tells me how to get my life together, even if it doesn't make fucking sense, then I do it. I do it. And so if there is something that Source has been telling you, if there is something that Source has been saying, do, and it does not make sense, follow it. Trust it. That is unshakable faith. You could have considered me delusional to want to go have a baby and become a single mother at 22. Sure, that could have been considered delusional. But to me, that wasn't delusional because it was very real to me. It was the only thing that made sense in my mind. I was like, if I have a baby, I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop smoking cigarettes. Never picked up cigarettes ever again after I got pregnant. Don't like them, never will. I'm going to stop choosing these choices because I'm going to have someone else to live for. And I knew that would motivate me to live my purpose. I knew that being a mom would give me purpose and show me where I could apply my purpose as well. And I lived a dream. My 20s was a whole dream. I lived on a school bus. I traveled. Yeah, it could have been better if I had been in therapy working on my PTSD. And this is what I'm talking about, like, not being delusional. Like, if you have mental health issues, please take your medication. If you have any type of issues, please go to the doctor. Don't live in a delusion. Like, I'm not here to, like, promote or preach something that is harmful, but, like, to me, that choice was unshakable faith. That was the choice I had to make with grace and ease to let go of this old me at that young age. I did not want to be a college party girl anymore. I wanted to be somebody, and I did it, and I'm doing it. And so here I am again, becoming somebody different, and I'm facing these challenges, and they're hard and they're scary, and I'm having to be radically honest with myself, and it's super super uncomfortable, and I kind of don't like it, but I do it. And that is what I think people say when they're like, wow, Liv, you really believe in yourself. I believe that I have what it takes to do the work to create the life of my dreams. And I'm willing to show up for it. And sometimes I don't believe in myself. Sometimes I get in my feelings of inadequacy so deep, and I'm so scared, and I'm like, nobody wants to buy from me. I can't do this business. I'm so scared. And I'll call my brother and I'll be crying and I'm like acting like I need to be rescued. Like, that really happens, y'all. That really happens. I'm not perfect, but I still show up for the work. I let myself have those feelings, and then I get back on my way and I find my light again. I pray, I meditate, I do EFT tapping. I talk to people. I say what needs to be said. I say what's on my heart and mind even when it's uncomfortable. Yesterday I'm like walking through Target on the phone talking to my friend, just saying what I need to say. There's tons of people around. I'm talking quietly, but, like, I'm crying. And I just was getting it out of my heart, and out of my solar plexus. Like, we can betray ourselves time and time again when we forget we have personal power to change our life. You have the personal power to change your life. You do. It's inside you. And if you want to activate that, we could do some work together. So just send me a DM. If you need an activation, a reminder, a cleansing, guidance, coaching, support, a connection with spirits, healing, if you need any of that, you can send me a DM and we can figure out how to work together one on one. I'm a flexible time right now. Oops, cards are falling. 3 cards are falling. Let's see what these 3 cards are falling for. What are you falling for, cards? Don't forget to follow me. Okay, interesting. So we have don't get caught in indecisiveness. You're in between. You're in between the old you and the new you. Because look, it's already being let go of. The death card, it's already gone. Balance with the justice card. The new you is balanced and fair, you know? There's nothing to decide because the decision's already been made. You know the right choice. Now you have to accept to it. You have to accept the death of the old you, and you have to let go so that balance can be restored, so that your karmic cycles will be cleared so that you can live your dharma. You feel me? So take a deep breath in through the nose, out of the mouth. And if you consent, I'm just going to cleanse all your auric layers, 1 through 33. And we're going to pour a golden light down the head, cleansing all your chakras into the earth. And we're just clearing any lack of control from the solar plexus, any powerlessness, and any victim. Whew. Any stress, any worry, anything in the throat chakra, any lack of alignment with your true value. We clear that. Cleared any poor or old self-concept from your third eye. Whew. Clearing any limiting beliefs, any fear of failure from the root, and any limiting beliefs from the crown. Whew. Sending that golden light down the spine into the earth. Sealing that healing in. Let me know in the comments how that was. Let me know in the comments how that was. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I have my 3-month container identity shift open. It's $1,588. There's payment plans available. I'll drop the link in the comments so you can read all about it on the website. And I'm also offering one-on-one 90-minute sessions for $222 as well. And in our work together, whatever package you get, we always utilize the same tools. Whatever your problem is, whether you're seeking coaching on your business or your life, whether you need healing or guidance or support, these sessions and these packages can assist you in that. And in my sessions, we always utilize astrology, tarot, energy work with the 33 chakras, life coaching, and positive psychology. And included in life coaching and positive psychology, we use EFT tapping, NLP, and more. You can send me a DM if you want more information on how to work with me one on one. I can't wait to support you. I understand what you're going through because I'm going through it with you too. And if I'm not going through it now, I went through it before. That's the cool part about being an Aquarius is that you kind of just like have this whole entire life experience and can relate to all of humanity. It's great. And I'm here to help. I'm here to guide. I'm here to support. I'm here to coach. I'm here to lead. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.